What's up, everybody? Historic day today. I was trying to go live on Facebook and it's just bugging out right now. So what is so historic today? Today is the day that SpaceX launches. What a day. Yo, it just opened up. It's looking good, man. So let's get into it, okay? Why SpaceX? Why do I care? Why am I interested in SpaceX? What's the thesis? All right, you know I'm a big Tesla guy. First off, shout out to my friend Richie for the hat. He got me this hat last year sometime. And I've been waiting to wear it on IPO day. So thank you, Richie. All right, so much, man, so much. So here's my thesis on SpaceX, Tesla, how they all fit together, okay? So I always, at first, my first instinct, a couple of months ago when people were talking about the potential of Tesla and SpaceX merging, I kind of thought like, I don't know, Tesla's about to execute SpaceX, they're a few years out, it'd be cool, but I don't think it's good for Tesla. And I got to tell you, I've been warming up to it a lot. I've been really like, really just, wow, it's interesting. I'm just looking at the charts. So Tesla's selling off as people are YOLOing into SpaceX. So I kind of thought of it as, they're kind of at different points in their trajectory. You know what I mean? Tesla's about to execute, SpaceX is still building for the future. But then as the S1 came out and all the analysis coverage kind of came out in anticipation of the IPO, I started to realize this is really a good move for both of them. And here's what I think, okay? So in any industry, when it first starts out, the first companies to make money are the pick and shovel companies, all right? So if you go back, this comes from the California gold rush, right? So in 1849, when everybody went to California for gold, the first people that made money in the gold rush sold the picks and the shovels to the gold miners, picks and shovels. And then eventually a couple of gold miners made money. Go back to the dot-com era, the pick and shovel companies were Oracle, Sun, those type of companies that made networking equipment, that made Ethernet cables, the companies that made the equipment for networking so the dot-com era could happen. And then from there, it was all the tech companies came out and did their thing. So in AI, the pick and shovel company has been Nvidia, right? So the first real pick and shovel company was Nvidia. And if you look at their chart, they made the graphics cards that everybody used for the data centers for AI, and they were the first ones to run. Recently, and they got to $5 trillion, most valuable company in history, pick and shovel company for AI, okay? Now, recently, what have we seen? All the chip manufacturers, the Microns, the AMDs, all of those companies, right? IBM, all those companies that make chips, SanDisk, all following Nvidia, right? That's why RAM is so expensive. That's why computers are so expensive. So because of the demand, the next wave of pick and shovel companies was all those chip manufacturers. So here, with that setup, here's why I think the Tesla SpaceX thing has some real synergy, okay? I think SpaceX is the ultimate pick and shovel company for AI, okay? And if Nvidia got to 5 trillion, SpaceX will dwarf that. And here's why. Number one, SpaceX has data centers, right? Colossus 1, Colossus 2. They can build a data center in 60 days. I think was the last one they built. They just recently, Anthropic, who's Claude, right? Everybody uses Claude. Anthropic's going to be a hot IPO this year. They're paying SpaceX $1.25 billion a month, $15 billion a year to use their older data center, okay? Google, who actually is a shareholder, they own a big percentage of SpaceX, believe it or not. I think 7 or 8%, maybe more. They're paying SpaceX now $920 million a month to use the data centers. Okay, so think about this. So what do AI companies need, right? They need compute, which is why Nvidia did so well, why the chip manufacturers did so well. SpaceX, because Elon knows how to spot trends ahead of time and pre-build, has been building out data centers. Okay, so you got the data centers. Now everybody is fighting data centers, the NIMBY crowd. I don't know, whatever. I think it's silly. It's gonna happen, guys. If we don't build them here, they'll build them in China. They'll build them somewhere else, right? It happened with Bitcoin mining, 5-6 years in Bitcoin. You see these things kind of play out, right? And all the detriment to the environment everybody was concerned about, none of that materialized with Bitcoin mining. As a matter of fact, these companies were able to get power in places, and from wasted energy, they were able to create electricity in different places. So everyone's fighting the data centers. Well, Elon's idea for SpaceX is data centers in space. How do you get them there? With the freaking rockets that he's been launching for 15 years now. And everyone's like, how's he gonna launch? Dude, they got 10,000 Starlink satellites in outer space, okay? They announced a big joint venture with Tesla, the Terafab, right? So they're going to now build their own chips. What does Elon know about building chips? Guys, Tesla's been building chips already, guys. The Dojo Compute, they know how to build chips. What do you think? Who do you think built all those satellites? They know how to do it, and they can scale. Never, don't fade Elon, guys. They can scale, man. And that's what he's so good at. He can scale manufacturing and make it profitable. Look at EVs. They're the only ones that have made money on EVs, all right? So what makes SpaceX the ultimate pick and shovel company is they're gonna have the chips. They're gonna have the ability to create unlimited data centers in space, right? So they can provide what everybody needs, right? They have their own, they have Grok, right? XAI, so they're gonna have their own kind of answer to that too, right? So they have a little bit of actual AI, but they can create everything that all the competition needs and supply it. Then you have Tesla, who is the only company out there with physical real world AI already today, right? My car drives me everywhere. Full self-driving is full real world physical AI. Okay, cybercabs, robotaxi, Optimus Bot. It's using AI to power physical things with real world application. So Tesla has that. So you marry Tesla, which can execute real world physical AI, crazy addressable markets, the labor market, total disruption with Optimus, the transportation market, total disruption with Cybercab, just so many things. Tesla Semi, disrupting the deliveries and transport of goods, right? Marry that with the ultimate pick and shovel company, put them together, guys, game over. And the more I think about this, the more I realize this is an insane combination. And again, Nvidia just made chips. That's it. They made graphics cards that everybody used to train AI, right? And $5 trillion. And companies are now building their own chips. Like Tesla's not the only one trying to build chips, right? Google has experience, Apple has experience, right? All these companies have just take the lead on this and dive into it. You're where we were in 1993 with websites. So you can get ahead of everybody, man. And I talk to business owners all the time. I talk to my peers. I'm like, this and that. I don't know. Everyone's just kind of like, whatever. I don't have time for that. Hey, I don't know. You know what I mean? But it's definitely made a difference, man. And, and that's why I'm so bullish, man. SpaceX, Tesla, it is, I think that combination is the craziest AI opportunity there is out there from my perspective. You know what I mean? And I use both of their products, right? I have a Tesla, I have Starlink, I use Grok all the time, I'm on X all the time. And it's funny because now, if you use Claude, right, you're using Starlink, you're using SpaceX data centers, man. If you're using Gemini, they signed a deal with them, you're probably using SpaceX data centers, don't even realize it. So that's who's gonna win this race. It's not the one with the coolest LLM, the coolest Chat GPT with the coolest answers. That's not gonna win. It's going commercial, it's going enterprise, right? So Claude Code, Gemini Codex, Grok Build, Cursor, right? Where companies will spend the money to buy the enterprise package, like I'm doing with Perplexity. Now I'm trying to dial it into Hermes and have full control over it. That's where the money is, right? And who's gonna serve that need so those companies building those products can actually have products that run. And I'll leave you with this, right? Just as an example, the importance of data centers. So Cursor is an AI, right? They're for coding. I think it was 2.0 was Cursor. Great AI for coding, but it was nerfed because they didn't have the compute power to push it. So they struck a deal with SpaceX right before the IPO. SpaceX is working with them. They have till the end of the year to buy them for $60 billion. If they don't buy them, they pay him a $10 billion breakup fee, done, right? Since that partnership happened, I've noticed a massive improvement in Grok, right? And I don't know, maybe it's unrelated, maybe it's just in my head, I don't know. And then I was watching something the other day, And Cursor, the leaps that it took from 2.0 to 2.5, because now it's got the compute that it always needed so it could go and do its thing and learn and improve as an AI and actually do useful things, of coding a lot. Cursor is like a coding one, right? So like Claude Opus, like you would use Claude to code and build websites or programs or software. That's what Cursor does. Supposedly it's really, really good. And, and when you look at the benchmarks and where it went, just from getting with SpaceX and having basically unlimited compute, it's starting to blow all the other ones away, And that's the key for me. Like I use it, we build our website on there. Now I have complete control. I can update the site at any time. It helps me with creating content. This is all at the top of my head, but writing blogs, doing scripts and videos, helping me, put these on the website the right way so people will find them, because we try to do a lot of educational, useful information. We're building our own app to run our entire company on. We're just paying too much for software. And it's just like, why? When we can just build it ourselves and own it, and we could create a better experience for the client. Because right now I got 27 different apps that I'm running to run my business, because that's how it was. So if it's confusing for me, imagine for the client. Hey, you got to log in here to sign. Hey, you got to log into this one to pay. You got to log into this one to see who, to get a copy of your lease. You got to log into it's insane. So we're trying to I see that, and I think there's an opportunity for businesses to make, bespoke custom software to give your clients a really good experience. So that's what it is, man, and just exciting times, exciting times. Historic day. I just wanted to put something out there. I tried to go live on Facebook. Facebook is crapping out today. They're having some kind of outage. So it is what it is. So you get the recorded version. Shout out to Nigel, man. He's going to edit this, make it fresh. And, that's it. So definitely, guys, comment below. Let me know what you think. SpaceX, is that going to be a winner? Is the SpaceX Tesla merger? What are your thoughts on that? And let me know, where you think it's going, man. I'd love to have a conversation. All right. Take it easy, guys. Let's go.